Okay, so I just wanted to do a video here just talking about software that I believe every Christian should install on their computer, on their laptop, and on any smartphone or tablet device that they may have. And the software that I'm talking about is an ad blocker. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can install an ad blocker on your computer and how you can block these ungodly, wicked, and intrusive ads.
So if you have any experience browsing the internet, you probably come across ads. There are ads all the time on the internet. And the thing about many of these ads is they are oftentimes wicked and ungodly. You know, that really defines the vast majority of the ads that you find on the internet. Most of them are ungodly to some extent. And what makes it even worse is that they are intrusive, meaning you do not sign up to see these ads. You do not opt in and you do not consent to see these ads. And yet they are pushed in front of you and put in front of you without your consent and without you wanting to see it. So in order to block these wicked, ungodly ads, you know, I have been using an ad blocker for years now. And because of that, I never see any ads, literally no ads at all. Now, there's a difference when it comes to blocking ads on a computer, on a desktop computer and a laptop versus doing it on a smartphone or a tablet. I'll discuss both of those in this video, but it does seem like it's easier to actually block the ads on a computer, a desktop or a laptop. And that's because when you access the internet, you access the internet through a single point of entry, namely the web browser. So the web browser that I personally use is Firefox, you know, as the main web browser of choice that I've been using. And in Firefox, you can actually install extensions, what is known as extensions to the web browser. You know, for those of you who are not technical, what extensions basically are, you can think of them as like little small programs, small pieces of software that run in the web browser and extend the functionality of the web browser in some way. And the thing about Firefox is that there are many extensions for blocking ads. You know, so if you go onto the official Firefox website, where you can view extensions, you can just search for extensions which block ads. You know, by typing, you can just type ad block or something similar into the search bar on the website, and what it will bring up is a whole bunch of extensions relating to blocking ads. Now, the one that I use is this one here called uBlock Origin. This is one of the most popular ones. As you can see, as of this recording, it has about 10 million users of this ad blocker. And it's very easy. You know, you just click on here. It's free to install. Literally takes under a minute to install it. And it's completely free. And when that is installed, it'll block all ads across any websites that you visit, including YouTube, by the way. I never see YouTube ads. I never do, because I have this ad blocker extension installed. I never ever see ads on YouTube. And that's because I don't want to see them. I never signed up to seeing these ads. I never consented to seeing these ads. And like I said at the beginning of this video, most of the ads are ungodly to some extent. They are wicked, ungodly, and often inappropriate ads to some extent. And as a Christian, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see wicked, worldly ads in Christian videos that I watch. And by the way, shame on any of you Christian content creators which put ads on your videos. You know, that is shameful to be watching a Christian video and then all of a sudden you are interrupted by a worldly ad. You know, you're watching some sort of sermon or some sort of Bible teaching video, and all of a sudden the video stops and some worldly ad plays. You know, I think that's shameful if you are purposefully allowing that on your videos. You know, I do not allow ads on my videos. I never will allow ads on my videos. And if ads are appearing on my videos, it's because YouTube is putting them there, not because I want them there. I don't know if ads appear on my videos, by the way, because I have an ad blocker. I never see ads, and I've never activated anything to do with ads on my videos. So I honestly don't know if ads are appearing. So if they are, maybe you can tell me and I'll try and see how I can deactivate them if that is possible on YouTube. But if it's not possible to do that, I would suggest you install an ad blocker. Then you never have to watch these ads. And you know what's even more shameful is that when you have supposed Christian websites which have these wicked, worldly ads on them. You know, I remember listening to Dave Hunt years ago, and he was rebuking WorldNet Daily, I believe it was, for the wicked, ungodly ads that they had on their supposed Christian website. You know, unfortunately, with many of these so-called Christian websites, when it comes to money, all of their Christian values go out the window, and they allow any sort of worldly ads on their website when it comes to money. So as I was actually doing research for this video, I actually came across another web browser known as the Brave web browser. And it actually seems like it's better than Firefox because it comes built in with ad blocking functionality instead of having to download an extension for the browser. Now, I'm not sure if it's as good as uBlock Origin, but this web browser does market itself as blocking ads out of the box, including YouTube ads. So whatever web browser you are using, there should be ad blocker extensions for it. Although, once again, during the course of doing some research for this video, it did seem like with Google Chrome that they were trying to actually block these ad blockers. So it's probably better if you would switch to a different web browser like Firefox or the Brave web browser. But the point is that, in 2026, there should really be no reason why you are having to watch ads. And the point of this video is just to let people know, especially other Christians who may not be technically minded, that these ads can be blocked, that you don't have to endure looking at these ads or watching these ads. It's very easy to get rid of them. And the reason I say that is because I watch some other people on YouTube and I see them doing a screencast or a screen recording, and I can see that there are ads on their screen. So they clearly do not have an ad blocker. And I have actually observed certain Christian content creators, while teaching the Bible, go to like a website, and literally on the website, while they're trying to show Bible verses, there are literally worldly ads appearing next to it. And some of the times those ads are very inappropriate. So that is why I'm making this video. It seems like many people just do not know that you can actually block these ads pretty easily. So this way of blocking ads with an ad blocker extension in the web browser will work whether you have a laptop or a desktop computer, because you're blocking the ads through the single points of entry where you access the internet via the web browser. But when it comes to a smartphone and tablet device, and by the way, that is how the vast majority of people access the internet these days, via a smartphone. And the problem with this is that it becomes harder to block the ads, because on your smartphone, you'll have a variety of different apps which access the internet. And the thing is that each app is accessing the internet directly, and it's not going through the web browser. And that makes it harder to block these ads. And what I have noticed is that, on some apps, that they make ads mandatory. So when you open up the app, you will literally be greeted with an advert of some sort for the first 2 to 3 or 4 seconds, where it's mandatory that you view this advert. And once again, many of these adverts that are shown on smartphones and in different apps are ungodly, wicked, and inappropriate. And it's extremely intrusive. For instance, you may have a security camera, and in order to access your security camera, you need to download the app. And yet, this app comes with mandatory ads, which you cannot get rid of. And many of these ads are wicked. But I have recently come across a way to block these ads. And the way you do it is by using a private DNS. And this is actually also pretty easy to set up on your phone. You just have to go to the settings on your phone. I have an Android smartphone, but I'm sure it also works for an iPhone. And basically what you have to do is you just go search in the settings of your phone for DNS or private DNS. And when that comes up, you'll have the option of selecting your own custom DNS server to use instead of the automatic one that is set for the phone. So you just have to change that setting over to using a custom DNS, and then just enter the URL for an ad blocking DNS service, such as, for instance, AdGuard. AdGuard is a DNS service that is specifically created for this purpose of blocking ads. And this should block ads across all apps on your smartphone. And I have actually tested this where, for instance, you would open up the app, a certain app on your phone that has these mandatory ads in them, and you would usually be greeted with 3 or 4 seconds of this ad showing. Now it just shows like a white screen for those 3 or 4 seconds before moving over to the app. So to use AdGuard, you just need to go and select the custom option for DNS, and then just enter the URL for the AdGuard DNS, which is dns.adguard.com. And if you just enter that and click save, it will now use this private DNS service, which should block all the ads across all the apps on your phone. And this would also work not just on a phone, but on a tablet device as well, because most of the tablet devices also use a mobile operating system like Android or iOS. So it would be the same process for a mobile device like a tablet or a phone. So yeah, it's actually pretty simple to block ads, and this is something that every Christian should be doing. I don't want the world's ungodly ads intrusively appearing on my phone. The Bible says, "Come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord." So I hope this video was helpful, especially if you are someone who's not technical and you have been having to endure watching ads for probably years now, and you've hated it because you're a Christian and you're vexed by these ungodly, wicked ads that appear. I hope this video is helpful to you in being able to get rid of this. So I really hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching.